Hey guys, and welcome to Friday Morning Inspo. So, I just want to address what's happened this week, at least in America. We've had quite a few killings. Charlie Kirk was shot in the throat and died. There was a Ukrainian woman who was, killed on a subway. And so many other tragedies that are happening that are not getting the type of news cycle that they deserve as well. And while things are so hard, not just here, but all over the world, I just wanted to address it. And I know this isn't very inspirational, but I am going to give you guys some ways to cope and to try to find hope, or at least a little bit of solace. And I like to stay not political on this podcast. So I always like to see things from both sides. So hopefully I do a good job of that, and don't hate me, I guess. So when tragedy happens like this, it stirs up so much emotion, so much anger, so much fear, so much hatred, and so much hopelessness. And it can feel like, when is this going to end? Is it going to get worse? And it's really easy for people to start catastrophizing. And if you don't know what that means, it means that you take something and you start going kind of to the end of what could happen. So if there are shootings happening, which they're always happening here in America, it's going to get worse, or it's going to come find you, or you're next. And you kind of keep going down the rabbit hole of creating a catastrophe. And that's what catastrophizing is. And it's very easy. What we do, the reason we do that, or some people go to those extremes, is mainly because you're trying to keep yourself safe. And that's really the only reason. You're just trying to, it's not that you're trying to be, doom and gloom, to put it lightly. You're just trying to figure out, how can I stay safe? And if you're not doing that, and then you're just wrapped up in the fear of what's next for the US, what's next for the world, that kind of feeling of fear and hopelessness, or maybe anger and rage, is all encompassing. And it's hard to carry that along with doing your life and just going to work and trying to focus on your own personal problems. And let me actually take a moment to talk about how it is so easy for some people to get wrapped up in the news cycle and really feel terrible and guilty if they have to focus on their own problems. Because sometimes we just think, oh, well, my problems are nothing compared to what Charlie Kirk's wife and family are going through. My problems are nothing compared to an innocent woman who literally had her neck slashed on a train. I should be so grateful. I'm so lucky. And yes, you're right. You are. And I'm sure you're grateful. But that doesn't take away from the issues that you have as well, that are happening every day. And we can't escape our lives, and we can't escape the personal tragedy that we're going through. I know with grief, which I've experienced quite a bit of in the last 2 years, grief is always with you. It's always with you. And you just keep going. And it's interesting when someone passes, it's such a huge marker in your life, right? You're so overwhelmed by it, and it is so much a part of your being that it feels almost strange to look around at people who are just going about their day, having a great day, laughing, falling in love, having good things happen to them. It feels like everything should stop and everyone should know what's happening, because your tragedy is so enormous and it's so all-encompassing. And that's kind of sort of what happens with the news cycle for some people. It's hard to imagine thinking about, it's almost like the opposite, right? Like the outward tragedy is so encompassing that the inward issues that we might have seem flippant. But I'd really like to encourage you that if you are feeling that way, like, oh, my problems are nothing, I shouldn't complain, that's really not helping. It's really not helping you to feel your feelings and work through what you need to work through. Because you can't pour from an empty cup, nor can you solve the world's problems, even if you are in politics. It's just up to you to try to function at as much of full capacity as you can. And it's about filling your cup so that you can help others who might need a little bit of help, or having other people help you fill your cup because you need it. It's not about putting your issues aside because they're not important enough to focus on other issues. It's about focusing on your issues first, acknowledging the tragedies of our world if you need to, if you're watching the news, but finding the balance and knowing that so much of it is out of your control. And we can feel empathy and sympathy, and some people even get involved and active, but the truth is, we're only one person. And that's why it's important to fill your cup so that you can be at the full capacity of your one person to help, if that's what you feel inclined to do. So I'm just going to kind of name off a few things that you can do quickly. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. But a way to shift your perspective in some small ways when tragedy is happening around you, whether it's your own, but mainly when it's the world's, you need to focus on what's in your control. Like, instead of carrying the weight of everything that's happening, notice what you can actually do to make a difference, even if it's just small, with your friends and your family, even in your community. Just something small, because it really is a ripple effect. And also just balancing your intake of the news. Ironically, I do work in the news and on occasion, and I always have for the entirety of my career. I have worked in news, and I actually have done a lot of journalism as well. And strangely, I don't really watch the news that much. I don't want to. And that's a choice that everybody gets to make. It's not that I'm not informed, because I am, but I don't want to be clicked into that news cycle 24/7, because it feels impossible to feel that you have any kind of control, and it just makes you feel more helpless. That's something that I personally do. We've also seen studies that show that if you're watching the news all the time, it actually is worse for your health than it is for your health. And the next thing I want to talk about is just anchoring in connection and leaning on the relationships in your life that can bring moments of kindness, or listening, or shared laughter with friends or family, or even strangers. I love talking to people at Trader Joe's. Like, I am a little chatty Cathy. I really, really love grocery shopping because I really love to cook. And so whenever I go to the market, it's always really fun for me. But making those small connections with people that you don't know, with strangers, be careful, right? But, making those small connections can remind you that we're all in this together. And even though there is so much division happening right now, and has been happening, we're all still humans, just wanting to have good lives. And I won't go too much into that because it's such a can of worms, but I hope that just the simplicity of knowing that most human beings want to be good to others and to have happy lives is pretty much what we're all going for. Also, contributing is a huge way. And that, again, that doesn't have to look huge, but if you feel that you don't have control and you want to feel that you have some kind of impact, volunteering and helping in small ways can really, really help you feel that you're contributing to something bigger than yourself. And then grounding yourself, like meditation or journaling or prayer, can really, really help your nervous system when it's super activated and you're feeling anxious or stressed, or, you're not sure what to do, but you've got to do something. Actually grounding yourself helps you reset your nervous system so that you can make better informed decisions, so that you can help better. And seeking beauty in the world. I mean, as much tragedy as there is so much beauty in everything. Everywhere you can watch, there's a bunch of butterflies out right now because actually I'm not sure why there's so many butterflies, and maybe it's just me and maybe I'm hallucinating, but there are a lot of butterflies lately. And to me, that's the beauty of nature. It's the beauty of life. I mean, you can see it in a little kid or a baby. You can see it in your animals. I mean, it's everywhere, even just looking at the sky with clouds. I mean, really, really seeking the beauty in everything that you are around. It costs nothing, and it's always there for you. And then also just having some spiritual practices that work for you. And not everyone is spiritual, but if you are, finding comfort in meaning making, whether it's through faith or rituals or creating your own symbolic practices of hope, can really, really help right now. I know, prayer and meditation have the same healing effects on the body and to people outwardly. When you pray for people, their energetic field, their bodies feel it. It's truly incredible. And meditation is the same. It's really about numbers, right? When you pray in a group, like, you create even more energetic power, like energetic frequency to help and to heal. And praying for the world right now is not such a bad idea. And then also, just to wrap this up, just imagining the future and just holding on to stories of progress. We have overcome so much as a human species. We've overcome wars and pandemics not even that long ago, civil rights struggles, and just remembering our resilience as a people, as a human race during history can really renew our faith in what's possible. And just trying to visualize better days, imagining the world as you want to see it, and that in your place in it, and just keeping hope alive when everything else feels a little bit bleak or a lot bit bleak. Life is just going to keep lifing. I love to say that. It's my new favorite, Gen Z thing. What it is just going to keep lifing. And it's up to us how we want to live this life and how we find peace and solace and how we help and what we do in it that makes the world go round, because we are all part of this. We all have a purpose and we all make the world go round. Even if you don't think that you do, you do. You're always affecting everything around you. And in this very dark time, there's still so much beauty and so much light and so much goodness happening. I know that's something that I really focus on. I really focus on that. So I know this is not the brightest of Friday morning inspos, but I really hope that some of this can help you in understanding and dealing with your own feelings about this very hard week and moving forward, because there will be other hard weeks. That is guaranteed. But finding that bit of solace within yourself and acknowledging that you also deserve care when you're going through your stuff is very important. So please take care of yourself and take care of the people that you love and just others. I'll see you next week.